So I'm Steve Rosansky, President and CEO of the Newport Beach Chambers of Commerce. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. We're back. We're back with our mayor's reception here on Port Night here in Newport Beach, where we select our new mayor and mayor pro tem. So thank you all for coming. It was a little off as the city council finished up a little earlier than I anticipated, but it's great that they're going to be here for the first part of our program, which is our chamber awards ceremony, and then we're going to get into the introducing you to our new mayor and mayor pro tem, and maybe we'll even hear a few words from our outgoing mayor, Brad Avery. So I'm going to make a confession here. I showed up with a script. Where it is, I think it's out in the base somewhere. Blew out of here. So I have no script, so we're going to kind of wing it. So if I don't announce you as a dignitary, I'm sorry, raise your hand. But we're going to do the best we can, and it actually will probably be better because it's going to wind up being shorter. So, which everybody I'm sure wants to have. So that being said, I will say that we have all of our city council members here tonight. So if you're a city council member, raise your hand. Yeah. If you're a former city council member, raise your hand. If you're a board or commission member or a foundation member, Dorothy is in a foundation, we'll include her too. Board, commission, or foundation member, raise your hand. If you're running for city council next year, raise your hand. Stand up and raise your hand so everybody can see you. I want them to stand up. Tom, Robin, Joe. Joe's out there somewhere. Joy, have you announced whether you're running yet? Joy's running. She's raising her hand. You heard it here. We make news here at the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce. Okay, okay. If you're a sponsor of the event, who has a program? Give me a program. I have to call off my sponsors. I can't, they gave me money. Come on. It's me. It's you. It's this guy, Dave. Okay, there we go. So we do have two presenting sponsors tonight. City of Hope. I want to thank City of Hope. They're not here tonight, but thank you wherever you are, City of Hope in Irvine. Actually, they're here in Newport Beach at Fashion Island, so thank you, City of Hope. I want to thank Dave Simpson and Cox for being a presenting sponsor tonight. I want to thank Orange Coast College for being a supporting sponsor tonight. I think the dean, and I don't have your name, but the dean and somebody else is here, the chair of the board or somebody's here. Raise your hand if you're with Orange Coast. Somebody, anybody. Just fake it. Somebody, raise your hand. Pretend like you're with Orange Coast. There we go. Okay, she's with Orange Coast. Thank you very much, Orange Coast College. Wells Fargo Bank. I know there's two young ladies in the back here from over there. Wells Fargo Bank, thank you. Katrina Foley, Supervisor Katrina Foley. Thank you for sponsoring our event. Katrina is also a sponsor of the boat parade tomorrow night, December 15th to the 19th. We love our boat parade. West Coast Arborists, a couple guys here from West Coast Arborists, raise your hand back there. I asked them, how could you be here tonight? These guys cut trees for cities. I said there must be trees down everywhere, but they said our event was too important to miss, so they're here tonight. And Ware Disposal, Brad Timmons. I don't know if Brad made it here tonight, but Brad and Judy Ware, thank you very much for being a sponsor of our event. How about a round of applause for all of our sponsors? I also want to thank, if you look on the back of your program, our Leadership Circle members. They are officially sponsors of all of our events. If you're not a Leadership Circle member, you should be. Talk to me about it. I'd love to have you guys join. So I think that dispenses with that part of our VIP introduction. Anybody else feel like they're a VIP? How about that? Everybody raise their hand. You're all VIPs for the Chamber of Commerce. Raise your hands. Okay, there we go. So we covered everybody in the house. So this is the way it goes. Normally, the city council and staff are not here yet, and we do our chamber awards ceremony, and then we wait for them to come. But as luck would have it, they pulled a fast one on me and had their meeting an hour and a half earlier than they normally do. So luckily, they're all here, and they can see the hard work that our chamber members do on behalf of the city and small business here in Newport Beach. So first, we're going to have our, if you look in our program, which now that's going to serve as my script, we're going to present 3 awards here tonight: our Navigate Young Professional of the Year, our Ambassador of the Year, and our surprise Silver Anchor recipient of the year. So first off, I'm going to invite up, we're going to do our Ambassador of the Year, so that's going to bring up Sheldon and Kay and Pam. If you join me on the stage, and we're going to make that presentation real quick. And I'm going to turn it over to them.
Good evening, everybody. So I wanted to let you know how you become the Ambassador of the Year. Throughout the entire year, every ambassador that comes to an event and helps out of all of our events, they get points, and those get accumulated. So we have Ambassador of the Month every single month, and then at the end of the year, we take the top 3 or 4 ambassadors that have the most points, and then our ambassadors vote on who they think best represents them to the community for the Chamber of Commerce. So that's how we get there. And personally, I'd like to tell Sherry, where are you, Sherry? There you are. Thank you for everything that you did for us. You made life a lot easier in this last year. Your smiling face and your welcoming to all the new members, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. I'm very honored that you're getting this.
Okay, our Ambassador of the Year, Sherry, is, she started her own business 21 years ago, and it's called Circle of Care. And she shows in her business, as she does in her everyday life, how passionate she is for people. She's very caring, she reaches out, she's very inclusive. And when she became an ambassador, it was really a blessing to all of our group to have her energy and her enthusiasm. So thank you, Sherry, for everything, and congratulations.
You know, like they say, attitude is everything. And one of the things that Sherry does, whenever you see her, she's always smiling. Because especially when a new member, you're delivering a plaque to a new member, and they don't know anything about the chamber. They may know something about the chamber, and somebody says, hey, I got this beautiful plaque for you. You see that smiling face. You know, that's the welcome, because the ambassadors are, you know, they welcome everybody to the chamber. And the cool thing is the members love it. So Sherry, keep smiling. I love that smiling face. Come on up, Sherry. Let's.
Oh.
Say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Newport Beach for giving my company, Circle of Care, a home. And I would also like to thank my chamber family for giving me a chance to serve the community. And I would like to especially thank my fellow ambassadors, especially to Gerald Tudio, for inspiring me to be a good ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you.
I couldn't get any better than this.
Stick around, we'll take some pictures later. Sherry's a great representative of our chamber, and we're lucky to have her. You all right? Okay. So our next award recipient is going to be our Navigate Young Professional of the Year. We started our Navigate Young Professional group a few years back now to kind of educate, those new up-and-coming people in our business community about the chamber, what chambers do. Chambers, it's kind of an old old type of an organization, but we like to think that we're pretty young here at our chamber, and so we're investing in the future, and I think we made a good investment in our next candidate. So I'm going to call Chris Delfs up. He was our chair this past year for Navigate, and he's going to introduce our winner. Oh, yeah, and a 40 under 40 recipient the other night. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, thanks, Steve, for taking half my speech. Good evening, everyone. Like Steve said, my name is Chris Delfs. I have the honor of serving as chairman of the Navigate Young Professional Group of the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce. The purpose of Navigate is to bring young professionals who live and work in Newport Beach together and really serve as a first impression of the Chamber of Commerce to get them involved, get them engaged in the chamber and the rest of the community. So we host various events throughout the year. They're intended to be interactive and engage young professionals in networking. Just a few. We've done guac-off, where we had groups compete with each other to make a big guacamole, and we had Steve judge. I don't think you've eaten guacamole since, right? Probably not. So we had over 30 groups on that. And then we've had a putting contest, a sushi making class, Navigate Olympics, where we had attendees compete in teams against each other while the Olympics was going on, playing long games, and had some fun. The Navigate Young Professional Year Award was started in 2019 in order to highlight an up-and-coming chamber member who really stands out and serves as a great example for young professionals in Newport Beach and for the rest of the community. Our committee of 10 young professionals voted internally for the recipient of this honor, and this individual is without a doubt an amazing representative for our group. This individual is a manager of not one, but two First Republic Bank branches in Newport Beach and Corona Del Mar. This individual is not only on our Navigate committee, but also sponsors and volunteers for our Wake Up Newport events with the Chamber. He's always one of the first to arrive and the last to leave at all of our events to help us set up and tear down. He's a rising star within his industry, a huge asset to the Chamber, a husband, a father, and a great leader for all young professionals in and around Newport Beach. He's also a great friend. Please join me in congratulating Tyler Parker as our second ever Navigate Young Professional of the Year.
Say something, say a few words.
Well, I had something prepared, and now I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know that anything I can say could top that. And I joined the chamber in 2019, and just wanted an opportunity to get a little bit deeper involved. And Steve was kind enough to reintroduce me to Chris, and got involved in Navigate and joined the committee, and dove right in. And it's a wonderful organization. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and looking forward to more. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to get involved and to stay involved. And special thanks go out to the Navigate committee for the support, and additional thanks to my wife for allowing me to take the time to do this. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm honored. Yeah.
If you'll notice, I'm handing them each two framed plaques. One came from Katrina Foley's, the Second District Supervisor's Office, and the other from Michelle Steele, recognizing their accomplishments. Okay, so let's move on. So the next one is our Silver Anchor Award. Typically, we do not tell the recipient that they're receiving it. It's a surprise, and it's such a surprise that the recipient's not here tonight. So, unfortunately, Joyce Lau, wherever you are our Silver Anchor recipient. Yeah, a big round of applause for Joyce. Pam Smith did everything she could to convince her to come, but she must have had something else going on, and I think even at the end we told her, but she was already committed. So unfortunately she couldn't be here. We tricked ourselves. But Joyce is, I call her the Uber ambassador. She's been a chamber ambassador for many years now. She shows up to almost all of our ribbon cuttings. She was in the office the other day. We sent out a mailer to the boating community here about the boat parade. I think it was 1,000 postcards and another 700 or 800 big envelopes to, licking them and sticking them with stamps and stuff, and she was there till the end. So she is definitely, if I had 10 Joyces, I wouldn't need anybody else to help me run the chamber. She's a wonderful lady, and we're fortunate to have her. So Joyce, wherever you are, congratulations, and we'll make sure we get you your Silver Anchor Award when you come in the office. Maybe we'll recognize her at a Wake Up Newport meeting. She comes to a lot of those as well. So now we move on to the other half of our evening, our mayor's reception. And so for those of you who don't know, or you should, most of the people in this room are in the know, but I'll just quickly go over it. Every year here in Newport Beach, the City Council selects one of the 7 City Council members to serve as mayor for the coming year, and also a mayor pro tem for the coming year. And so that happens typically on the first meeting in December, which is tonight. And so that took place a little earlier over at City Hall. And so we're fortunate enough to have our new mayor and mayor pro tem here tonight, so we can celebrate their accomplishment and achievement, and wish them well as we head into 2022. It's right around the corner. Before we do that, though, I'm going to invite up former mayor Brad Avery, who is here tonight. Come on up, Brad, to say a few last time remarks on a day that he was the mayor of Newport Beach.
Thanks, Steve. So I think I'm about 2 inches taller. I'm not bent over, thinking about the next event I'm going to go to, the opening of a nail salon somewhere, 7:30 in the morning, that kind of thing. But I try to support Steve. I try to support Steve with all of his openings. He does a great job of supporting our businesses, which are so important to this town, critical element of it. And I try to do as many of them as I could, but it's a lot.
We're very successful.
So I was thinking, this was coming up, and my final council meeting as mayor was coming up, and I drove over the bridge last night, and I looked out, and the harbor was absolutely beautiful. All the lights, the boats, the houses. It was spectacular, and it made me think, I'm a 50-year resident of Newport, and I think before I got on council, and certainly before I became mayor, I kind of gradually took being a resident of Newport Beach for granted. It's sort of like I had an office on the bayfront for a long time, and eventually the view sort of became it was just sort of normal, didn't really look at it. And it's the same thing. But being mayor of this spectacular town, this town where the residents are so passionate about it, where the businesses come in and they just do such a great job. There's just so much riding on it here for some reason. There's just a pulse that's going on in this town. And I got to see that right up front. I mean, going to the Newport Jazz Festival was unbelievable. If you haven't been to the Newport Jazz Festival, I'm just going to throw a pitch here. I had no idea. And I went there as the mayor to represent the city, and Julie and I were just absolutely blown away. What a great event that was. There were so many of them, I shouldn't even pick one out. But the film festival, another just fantastic. So we have so much going on, and it's such a great town. And I just realized I had sort of, over the years, kind of lost that whole thing. And it came back to me as mayor. So all I'm saying is, in short, we just need to keep working to protect this town, to protect our businesses, to protect our city, to protect the harbor, to do what we can to mitigate this housing cram down from the state that's going on. And we all have to work together. The council, the town is resident driven, and the council can't do anything without the residents, because we need a mandate from our residents to move forward. And we're always looking for that. We want to do the right thing, and we need to protect the town because it's so beautiful. And I know for many of you who are new to the town, you see that. And I think some of us have been here for a while, we sort of take it for granted. But it's what people say, it's ours to lose. And we just need to be on it and paying attention. And I'll tell you, the entire council is dedicated to that. But we need direction from residents, and we need to hear from residents all the time. It's about participation at our council meetings and emails and just talking in the street, and keep that communication going. That's the biggest part of it. And I'll just end this by saying thank you so much to my wife, Julie, for enduring this. And it's been an incredible honor for me to be the mayor of Newport Beach, a town that I've grown up in and loved more than ever because I have been the mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. It's been a tough year, and Brad's done an excellent job. So now I have the opportunity to invite up to the podium our newest officials, top officials of the city. So first off, we're going to lead with the Mayor Pro Tem. And our new Mayor Pro Tem, just recently minted at the council meeting, Noah Blom.
Steve threw me for a loop on that one. I was reading through and I just wasn't totally prepared to address all of these amazing people out here tonight. I want to first start by saying thank you to everyone, especially city staff. I think sometimes we get up here and we honor ourselves because we like those things, but the dedication that it takes to run this city starts with our staff, and they are phenomenal. Newport couldn't run the way it would without them, and I want to take a moment to acknowledge they're sitting amongst us, but thank you guys so much. It's tireless work. You don't get the ribbon cuttings and the parties quite as much as you get the complaints and a little bit more of the brunt. So thank you all for doing it. And I want to thank Mayor Avery. He taught me a lot this last year. Unbelievable. It was a difficult year following up. We thought this one would have been a little easier than the previous one, but it still tends to be a little difficult right now. And he did it with grace and a beautiful, calm air that really was inspiring to, I think, so many of us on council, and really took up the mantle beautifully. And so, we're privileged to be able to learn under such great people that have cared and loved this city so much. And I want to thank Kevin Muldoon, our new mayor, who is probably one of the great fighters I've ever met. Everything he does up there, he does with his whole heart and pushes forward for the sake of freedom. And I think it's just so very important to have somebody like that leading our city right now, especially in another year. I've heard it called 2022. We're not going to be calling it that. We're just going into 2022 with all the happiness we could possibly have. And I want to thank every resident of this city. It is an amazing city, and I really felt Brad's words. I was privileged enough to be born and raised here, and I left looking for a better place to live. And after hitting some of the San Francisco, New York, Europe, and the major places throughout this country, I realized, oh my gosh, I just have to get back to Newport right away. We're so privileged, whether it's our harbor, every access we have, our beautiful beaches and coastlines, but really it's the people that want to be here. And it doesn't matter what happens anywhere else. Orange County, and especially Newport, stays one of the most treasured locations and amazing spots in this entire world. And I think it's easy for us to get excited about ourselves, but we really need to be excited about what a jewel that we have, and just do everything we can to keep it that way and keep everyone happy and excited. So with that, I thank you all for coming. It's been amazing, and I'm looking forward to hearing some real remarks from our new mayor.
Okay, so now we come to the moment you've all been waiting for. We're going to introduce our new mayor, Kevin Muldoon. Kevin, why don't you walk up here? Kevin's a return mayor. This is his second term as mayor, so hopefully he knows the routine, and he's going to give us some inspiring remarks for next year. Thanks.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Had I known it was an option not to show up like Joyce didn't, I'm not sure I'd be here. And also, it's just a great event. The Chamber, you are pillars in the community. You do great work. Thanks for everything you do, Steve. I noticed that about half the room raised their hand when asked if you're a sitting or former council member. And they always say, know your audience. So I'm going to try to know my audience this evening. My story about being the mayor of Newport Beach is an unlikely story. I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, sixth-generation Ohio family. Moved out to Lake Forest because my grandpa was an old Newport guy and he had a manufacturing facility in Irvine. And to be honest, I didn't really love Orange County. It was tough. You know, the Midwest, all they care about are sports and, you know, wrestling your guy buddies and that kind of stuff. Out here, everyone's a surfer like Duffy. And everyone's, you know, everyone else is blonde too. But I grew up in Lake Forest and I loved it. And I basically just found my way to Newport by chance. And I fell in love with my wife, Heather, in Newport Beach on Balboa Island, our first date. And, you know, I went to my church for a lot of years here in Newport Beach. And then obviously we had our son. And now we're having our daughter here in Newport Beach. And Newport Beach has given to me more than I could ever give Newport Beach. And they say that the love that's the most precious is the love you choose. So, you know, if you're born here, it's great. But if you choose to stay here, it really tells you how you feel about a place. And Heather and I are so grateful and so in love with the city, and the fact that we get to live here and we choose to live here means so much. And to have the opportunity to be a mayor of any city is part of the great American experience. It really is remarkable. I tell people it's almost like being the icon on the front of your car. Right? If you're the Mercedes bow tie or the Chevrolet bow tie or the Mercedes emblem, in a way, you kind of symbolize the city, which is odd because you have to sort of deny yourself and just be what people kind of want you to be. And it's still, with how odd it is and what different experience it is, it's just the honor of a lifetime. So when you see me up here, or any of my colleagues or any people who used to be on council, really the pleasure really is ours to represent the city. And to everyone, that might mean something different to from the viewer's perspective. But from our perspective, there's probably no place we'd rather be. So it's a great honor to have this position. I hope to serve you with my colleagues. And I know that we all have one thing in common, and that's that we love Newport Beach. Thank you.
So that concludes the formal portion of our program. I do want to give a big shout out of thanks to Pam and Annette and Amna and Jeff, who's on a boat trying to fix the lights on our lead boat in the harbor because the wind blew them all over and got them all wet, for helping me stage this event tonight. I want to thank the staff here at the Dunes. So that would be Phil and Erica and Helene, and Michael Gelfand, wherever you are. Thank you for giving us a great deal here and hosting us every year. As always, when I don't have a script, there was a glaring omission, and thank you, Noah, for pointing it out. I do want to thank all the city staff members that are here. Raise your hand, city staff members. We got almost every department head here tonight. Thank you, and Noah's right. I mean, I was a former mayor and city council members, and they, you know, the people that were up here tonight know, you know, we get all the credit, but they do all the work. So thank you again for keeping our city safe and clean and in good repair, and the #1 city in Newport Beach. So, and thank you folks all for coming. I want to invite you out to the Christmas boat parade. It starts tomorrow night. 6:30 it kicks off. At 6:20 we're going to have some fireworks, and then the parade will take off from the southern tip of Lido, travel 14 miles around the harbor, and you know, at any spot you can get down to the water is going to be a good spot to view it. And we'll be running from Wednesday through Sunday. Look forward to seeing you out there. Have a great rest of your year and the holidays and the new year, and we'll see you in January. Thank you.